Thank you so much for being here on time. Well, on behalf of the organizing team, thank you for being here. It truly means a great deal to see so many of you gathering with us and many who are joining. Some having traveled long distance, others having rearranged the schedules to be part of Sounding Iran musical pasts, presents, and futures. We are deeply grateful to all of our presenters, performers, participants who committed to this conference under difficult and challenging circumstances. I would like to invite my co-chair, Dr. Payam Yousefi, to share his opening remarks.
Sounding Iran musical past, presents, and futures set out originally to gather a latent potential in our field among the swiftly growing cohort.
For several years, me and my colleague Hesam Abedini have been thinking about putting together such a conference to bring together this latent potential of scholars to come and really think about their work together. This summer, finally, with the generous support of Dr. Hossein Omoumi and the Jordan Samuel Center for Persian Studies at UCI, there was funding and a desire to make this conference happen.
This event is a dream come true for me and for my colleague Payam Yousefi, because we could feel for a few years we have been feeling the need for having such gathering for the Iranian colleagues who are working on music and sound in Iran, or any kind of sonic world that comes out from Iran and is produced in the diaspora at large. So it is a very unique opportunity for us, and especially during these very difficult times for all Iranians across the globe, to be able to gather and have discussions about their research and their creative work.
Currently, we have over 50 speakers at this conference. These speakers consist of graduate students getting their PhDs at top universities, at Ivy League universities, at top research institutions, also musicians who are in large graduate programs, professors of music that we have in the United States right now, from Canada. A large portion of our attendees were set to come in or Zoom in from Iran, which we've delayed because of the current situation. So we've had very interesting panels that deal with the intersection of music with sound and violence, music and war, music and politics, resistance, performance, women's rights. Also just cultural heritage and the social histories of Iran told through music. So all in all, it's been a very, very beautiful conference, again with multitude of voices, because we've also had this view and engaging with these topics in diaspora with scholars, musicians, creatives, performers, all alike, contributing from different perspectives to discuss these issues.
I came here for the Sounding Iran conference. I was the review committee, part of the review committee, and I've been involved with organizing and reviewing the program since the beginning of this process. I see this conference as an exceptional moment, gathering all of the especially students working on many aspects of Iranian music, especially because when I came to the US, it was only a few people working on Iranian music, and many of them were from other generations that came to the Western academia many years ago. And then in recent years, there are a rise of Iranian students working on the contemporary issues in Iranian music. And I found it very helpful, not just for the community of the students, but for being part of this larger group of academia thinking about Iran. And music gives this space to think about ordinary life, to think about politics, to think about culture in a very different ways.
I'm one of the members of the review committee for the Sounding Iran conference, the first of its kind from what I understand. Being able to see what our senior scholars are up to in the field, which we have more access to generally, but also being able to see what our younger scholars are doing and our emerging scholars are doing at this point has been eye-opening. It's wonderful to see that they are taking up this burden, this duty to kind of really engage with what they know through their lived experience, many of them coming from Iran, and many of them actually practitioners, musical practitioners themselves, really taking on the task of seeing what kind of theory, what kind of knowledge emerges organically from their own practice. And we've been very lucky to have that all come about through the process of having proposals sent to us, reviewing applications, seeing what themes emerge to be able to bring together panels, roundtables, and even in this case, lecture performances.
I'm here at the Sounding Iran conference to talk about Jewish-Muslim relations through music and sound in 20th century Iran. I specifically talked about Monajat, a mystical prayer, and how Jews have adopted this prayer into their religious repertoire, and what we can learn about Jewish-Muslim relations in 20th century Iran and further back in the past through shared spheres of mysticism and spiritualism that moved around between Jews, Muslims, but also Baha'is and Zoroastrians in Iran. I talked about how Yunus Dardashti, a 20th century cantor and musician, borrowed a Sufi prayer into the heart of Jewish liturgy and sang it inside a Jewish service called Slichot in a synagogue in synagogues in Tehran and later also in Israel, adopting Sufi mystical spheres into the Jewish prayer. This is the first time that we're ever having a panel of Jewish Persian music inside a general Iranian music conference, and it's very powerful for me to be able to preserve this culture, promote it, and talk about it through the larger Iranian community, and I hope to have more opportunities like that in the future.
In the same vein, in the course of Usman Danfodiou's early 19th century jihad that culminated in the establishment of the Fulani Empire in Central Asia, what is now northern Nigeria, almost all sorts of musical instruments and activities were banned in the name of reforming pre-Islamic mores that had persisted in the Muslim states conquered by the jihad.
نمیدانند در این جمعیت انبوه و این پیکار روزافزون که رپ و میخورند در خون از این پس ماتم نان میکند بیگاه زنگوی میکده برگشته ام زرار خطا مرا دگر کرم باره
I did a collaborative sonic performance in New York City about a year ago with Hesam Abedini, and we presented on that sonic performance today with Babak Rahimi, Dr. Rahimi, as our moderator and discussant. It's been so exciting just to hear so much experimentation, people using the tradition, but also throwing away traditions and bringing in new things, and really expanding the thoughts and ideas around how sound affects us. So it's been really, really great to see what I have been able to see and to experience the concert.
I presented a paper on sound of protest in women life freedom movement, and I compared the sounds in this movement with the Green movement in 2009. I'm working on the song that was shared during 2022 Women Life Freedom movement. These songs were shared through notes within fist bump, through social media, and with like different contexts. I wanted to know how these contexts are different together. This conference was the first Iranian conference that was held in the US, and I think all of my colleagues, all the people who are working on music, they all came to California to attend in this conference, and I think it was a very big opportunity to know each other, to connect, and to know about each other's work and interests. Yeah.
Came here to present a paper about the concept of theft songs among Kurdish Iranians in that country, and basically it's the kind of theme among Iranian Kurds that some songs with the alleged Kurdish origins have been appropriated by the Persian ethno-national identities, actually. I was asking that how this concept has been emerged during recent decades. And I am so glad to be here in this conference, specifically to present my work for those who are pretty familiar with these concepts and with the context of Iranian music and the situation of music in Iran. And I got really insightful comments and feedbacks, which made me happy. It was really instructive for my dissertation. I think the positive and good part of this conference was getting these comments, getting these feedbacks from those who are somehow familiar with the situation.
I'm a part of co-founder members of Muasir, which is a free online non-profit music academy that we teach music composition for free to Iranian students. The team includes me, Pedram Diba, Sohrab Motabar, who wasn't able to be with us today, and Bahar Royai. We were more focused to students inside Iran that are limited to have resources, including like having a good education, like freedom in academic spaces, and financial restrictions, and many other restrictions that we're going to discuss in the presentation today. So this conference aligns with our goal very well, because our goal is to talk about music education for Iranian students. And we also really emphasize the importance of research. So this conference is
the best platform that we can share our experience, as well as learning from other aspects of dialogues around the Iranian music education.
I spoke in a panel about pedagogy and Radif of Persian classical music. My paper was exploring Radif from a macro perspective in a hermeneutic and phenomenological theoretical aspect. I was very excited to be in this conference, particularly because the focus was primarily on Iranian music or Persian music. I find it fascinating that usually when I speak about the Radif or Persian classical music, I have to spend a few minutes to talk about the system. This was one of the first that I didn't have to talk about the concept of Radif, of the Dastgah system. Everybody knew that, and I knew that people are going to ask very interesting questions, which happened. I also enjoyed my co-panelists. I enjoyed the other presentations. Through both yesterday and today, a very fascinating way that all the people who study Iranian music from one aspect or another could be in one place and talk about what they're working on.
It's my sincere hope that we can keep moving this momentum forward and have annual or biannual conferences bringing together this potential, creating bridges between the United States, scholars in Iran, performers in Iran, those in Europe, and really cultivating and growing this space of Persian music, art, and culture, irrespective of genre, where we can think through music, think through sound to answer some of the difficult questions that we have today.
I would like to thank Professor Hossein Omoumi for making this conference possible through the Massey Endowment Fund, as well as the UC Irvine Department of Music and the Samuel Jordan Center for Persian Studies and Culture, who sponsored this events. We were lucky to have Ustad Ali Akbar Moradi as the keynote performer, as well as Dr. Hushain Shahabi as the keynote speaker for this conference.